Hey, Mike Dance with Brookside here in Austin, Texas. So we'll talk a little bit about schools and the perfect technology for talk, chat, and video. So Brookside is an Austin company since 2002. It basically has helped customers like Four Hands, Hayes County, many of these larger and as well as newer companies out there, law firms, just, horseshoe beavers, all these different companies, organizations, and some schools, St. Michael's, McDade ISD, Mitel International. So we've been around for a long time. We have a lot of experience, but we just try to help you find the right talk, chat, and video solution to meet your needs and budget. So when you look at that, you talk about unified communications as a service. There's, all different types of brands. As you see, we carry all of those different brands and can get you pricing if you're interested, from Zoom to Teams to, across the board. But mainly we do a lot of work with Mitel when it comes to schools. We also help you find fiber, the best deal on fiber too, is through the state contracts or however we can for each individual market, and help facilitate and help with the implementation as well. So when it comes to schools, let's talk about schools. How many apps do your students and teachers have to open and just log into every day just to be able to talk, chat, and video? Is it reliable? Is it secure? I mean, those are things that, a lot of schools don't realize because they had to hurry and take everybody and make sure that the teachers and the students are working. So a lot of people have gone down the Zoom path or Hangouts, or, a lot of people are starting to use Meet in the classrooms. Anyway, a lot of things out there. We're helping you see if you can get more for less for your school. And I know a lot of this stuff's free, but we're really good at trying to figure out how we can help. Today's business communication in schools, 80% don't even want a desk phone. 89% they can accomplish more with team collaboration. 57% say they're increasing their investment in cloud communications, and 90% prefer to work from anywhere on any device. And that's where we can help. We got to start by taking a look at the current monthly cost, whether it's Avaya, Cisco, ShoreTel, whatever you've got in the school, that you've got a phone system. There's something in there. There's phone lines, usually, maintenance contract, software assurance, and there's the time you spend working on it, whether it's troubleshooting it or just dealing with it, and then there's all these different apps that you have to make work together, which has been a real issue, making them all talk to each other in some cases, and making sure you have the right one to meet your network and security goals. Web chat, that's sometimes what people use. I don't know if that's used much with schools, more than emergency notification systems, letting everybody know across all channels what's going on. So if you need to really start with how much you're spending on all these things, and you divide it by the number of users to get your cost per user, and that's kind of where things start. When we start looking at what's best for the schools today, one that clearly floats to the top is Mitel. Mitel is, they got over 5 million cloud users. So, and, they're US based for the most part. They've got obviously offices overseas and things, but for the most part, everything is headquartered, a lot of it in Austin, Texas, where the Oasis is. There's beautiful Lake Travis. So Mitel is actually based off River Place, which is right around the corner from the Oasis, at 6500 River Place Boulevard. They're a local Austin company that is hiring right now. They're hiring for different positions like network engineers and cloud engineers and people for the network operations center. All these are Austin jobs. It's an Austin company, and it's growing like crazy. The company started back in '73 as Mike and Terry's Lawnmowers, and is, by acquiring, companies like Intertel and ShoreTel, and then some of the peripheral call center solutions from Prairie Fire, Oasis, and phones from Astra and Toshiba's base. I mean, they built a good-sized company that today is one of the leading companies in the world. They're a private company. They're in acquisition mode. I would look for them to do a lot of interesting things in the future. They're already operating in 100 countries. They've already got #1 market share worldwide in private cloud, also in total cloud, as well as unified communications in Europe. And Gartner really likes Mitel because they've, for 4 years in a row, they've been in 5 different Magic Quadrants. So that's corporate telephony, unified communications, and, for midsize, as a service, and contact centers. So it's a very active company in its industry, and one of the biggest in the world with 70 million global users. They're very recognized by the Major League Baseball, by the CIO Applications Magazine, Newsweek. They all have chosen these guys to be one of the top companies in this space. And many times in past practices, they're mentioned in the same sentence with Microsoft and Cisco. So it's a very, very good company that has done a lot of business worldwide with sports teams, a lot of stadiums. Or Mitel, all the baseball stadiums out there in Major League Baseball all have a solution, including the new one in Dallas or Arlington, whatever you want to call it, up there, Globe Field right there next to where the Cowboys play at AT&T. Mitel has all the technology in this particular facility. As you can see, it's brand new. It's got a retractable roof, very similar to Houston. We don't want, Texas didn't want, the Astros to have anything better than them. But everybody, like I said, in the major leagues uses Mitel. It's a very reliable solution. So when we start talking about Mitel, we say, hey, what's best for you? private cloud or public cloud. Mitel offers both. So, you can basically have a box on site. You can have it in your data center and your VMware and your Hyper-V and virtualized, or you can have it in Mitel's cloud where they basically do all the work for you more or less. And, you just basically make changes to a portal. So all the solutions use the same phones, the same collaboration tools, mobile apps, web and video conferencing, and all of them have the same native integration, which amounts to more of a click than a code type situation. So the goal is secure and reliable talk, chat, and video anywhere, any device. And so, users can choose how they want to communicate, whether it's through the hardware phones or soft phones that operate on any device. The software can be virtualized and put in, into your data center or into the Mitel box. However, either way, it's using either Hyper-V or VMware to be able to have the ability to have a solution that is, more of a data-friendly cloud-based solution for a private cloud. So it can be installed on site in a Mitel box there, that goes up to 65,000 users. Some people like to have those at the main building so they can have analog ports and cards and things, backup circuits and things, depending on how much you want to spend on business continuity. Private cloud software only goes right into your data center. Like I said, everything's license based. How many users? There's 3 different levels. And it's got the highest level of security and business continuity. When you do this, more or less, it's also got resiliency and high availability, so it automatically fails over between servers and really kind of rides the back of what you're doing with your VMware across your enterprise. So it takes voice and turns it into something that you're more familiar with from a data standpoint. When you do that, you do need your own redundant zip trunks or zip trunks from somebody. Intel appears what we normally work with. This shows you they've got a primary route and a redundant gateway that basically where they've got the ability using multiple data centers to make sure that no matter who calls or makes a call, that as long as you've got internet access from 1 or 2 carriers, that the calls are going to be completed. The best thing that people are doing today, or heading towards a lot of, is the Mitel MyCloud Connect, which is their software in the cloud solution. It's in the Google Cloud platform. It's very secure, meets all the security requirements of the Google Cloud platform, has AES 256-bit encryption, WebRTC, is HIPAA compliant, and SOC 1 and SOC 2 compliant. So it provides secure talk, chat, and video all in one place. It's very cool. So the Google Cloud platform is secure, scalable, reliable, and compliant. And they've got data centers everywhere. They got 24 data centers around the world. That's 3 times more than anybody else. They got 13 in the United States, So, when you're making phone calls, it's going over this Google Cloud platform. And so there's a lot less hops and hardware and issues and things that might be a problem that you have maybe with other carriers. High availability, industry's best security, faster deployments. You get the picture, okay? It's all in one. That's it. Chat, video, everything's all in one app. So you log into one thing. You have these awesome and secure IP phones, web and video conferencing, message and screen sharing. That's SMS, texting, business text, enterprise contact center, team collaboration, and workspaces, Slack type software, native integrations to all your business apps, including Salesforce and things of that nature. Comes with a system admin portal, so you're able to do basic day-to-day management is really easy, but they also support it 24/7, and it's free for them to make the changes and do what you need to get done in the event that you don't have time or don't want to have to deal with it. It's also got the old school functionality, I like to say. So all the stuff that you've always had on a phone system, it doesn't go away like it does with many of the cloud-based solutions that don't have all the latest features and paging out, things of that nature, different music on hold sources, all those many things that you need. So how does Mitel handle security? It is a little different. They get the best in-class security and compliance. They're using the latest, encryption, the latest, basically analytics and applications and virtual machines running in the Google Cloud. And then they've got, 8 high availability data centers that have the best operational practice to deliver have a high availability, which is different than a lot of the other guys. Endpoint security, 6900 series phones, they've got all kinds of encryption built into them. So all the voice over IP media is secure. It's very, very good encryption. Strong credentials are used. Let's just say there's no way they're getting into it. Multi-layer security traffic in the data center. This is all stuff that's more the Google Cloud platform. Second layer successful on the device. This is all stuff that means a lot to data people, okay? So, it's really, really secure and really reliable. And it meets HIPAA and SOC 2 requirements, which these are the things that are the parameters around which that it gets that certification. So at the end of the day, we've got Mitel manufactured hardware IP phones with 256-bit encryption. We've got Mitel developed software and video apps with WebRTC, 2 of the best I would say, most secure ways to go about doing this. Now, how many programs do students have to log into when they get online, get ready to go to class? I mean, you got Zoom, Teams, Google Classroom, all these things. I mean, with Mitel, you've got one single login for talk, chat, and video, which is better than what a lot of people are using today, or when they make you log into several things. Then you've got, the ability to have certain PBX features. You've got a phone built into it if you want to use it. You access to your contacts, voicemails, and teamwork, collaboration, and business SMS. So you can send texts out through this app with it, and it looks like it's coming from your business or your school, not from your cell phone. And then you've got different events that would include everything from audio and video conferencing. I mean, these are all things that are all inherently built in. So team collaboration, is done through teamwork, which, you can send and receive SMS messages, create and assign tasks, and share files. That's the big things that you can do with it. It also does, obviously, cloud video conferencing. So it's integrated in with your calendar for Gmail, Outlook. You can have up to 16 people in a multi-pane viewing. You can set up, I mean, it's got everything that you're going to get with any of the other ones out there, and it's free. So, I mean, everything's free in this space with everything, school and since the coronavirus. So that's what it looks like when you log in. You just set up, it's automatic, 4 or 5 clicks and you're in, and the invites are also very easy to integrate as well. So once again, how many do they plug in? Well, sometimes, they might want to use Google. So if you're using Google, built into the Google Chrome platform, more or less, is a plugin that allows you to open up and just click up there at the top like I've done, and boom, the software phone opens up and you can see, everything that you would see normally. And so without having to open up an app, this is perfect for Chromebooks and things of that nature where, people that want to have voice, like if it's a teacher, the phone can be built into that Chrome. So they don't have to even open up an app. I mean, it's just, you just click there, it opens up your soft phone and you're good to go. You can, you can get into the conferences with one click, and you can listen to voicemails with one click. You can call frequently dialed numbers, everything, all with this Google plugin, and manage multiple calls at a time, put them on hold, transfer. Everything you can do with a phone, you can do with this Google Chrome extension. Now, we have the ability to integrate with Microsoft Teams. And so if you want to have Teams do its thing and then have it when it needs to make a call, it would go out through Mitel's cloud-based solution, which is a lot more reliable and a lot more cost-effective. So the phones are really cool. They come with phones, free phones, starting, with the most basic one, but moving up from there. None of them are super basic. And none of them are expensive. From the touch screen one with the wireless handsets to ones with wireless headsets. That's the one that's free, the 6930 for people, most companies, most schools. They really make a good deal. And this is 6920, the one below it. But normally they'll give you the 6930. It integrates to the mobile phones. Most of them do. And what happens then is if anybody calls your cell phone number, it can come into your desk phone, which is kind of cool. And then it integrates the calendaring and all that stuff, as well as contacts, which works out really well. And then just like Legos, you can, plug and play if you need an expansion module for the receptionist and the headset. If you need a wireless LAN adapter, that's pretty cool for plugging a phone in anywhere. You've got Wi-Fi capabilities. There's Bluetooth headsets that will talk to your cell phones as well as your desk phones that are very slick for learning areas, and that works well. And then we got a big speakerphone if you had a big room where it's got 16 microphones in it and really is more of a piece of stereo equipment than it is a speakerphone. And then, of course, we've got the traditional Polycom, so anything that we could do there to help you out, we've got the Polycom. Now, all this will go through the DIR, the Department of Information Resources, which obviously most people know what that is, or Sourcewell, which is actually more of a co-op for schools and government and nonprofits. And they actually have, and many times the pricing's a lot better on Sourcewell than DIR because each deal stands on its own, and DIR is more of an annual contract. So why would you want to move to Mitel MyCloud Connect? That's the cloud-based solution. Well, Google platform, that's a good reason right there. Everything's kind of built in. It's a very reliable, very trustworthy platform that works very well. End-to-end encryption for everything, integration to all your business apps, less responsibility for IT, and a lower cost per user. I mean, that's the biggest thing there. Most of the school districts or organizations I've worked with, that's what it really made a difference. We looked at what they were spending, what they had, and then we came up with a lower cost per user. So when we say that, what are the options and how much do they cost? So when you see the phones and everything, the most limited essentials is the one that's probably going to be around $18 by the time you get done with the government pricing, maybe a little bit less. But you see what you've got there is you've got all the different features and capabilities from going all the way down, through, click to call, all included, teamwork, all these things, voicemail to email, everything, some peer-to-peer video. So click to call, then you come down if you want your transcription, I don't see any reason to go. This is CRM integration. These are things, call recording, if you want to record everything. These are all things that would take it to the next level. Over here, you see the phones, 0 cords. That's pretty cool. Everything's like pretty expensive. This is free, but I think with the schools, I think they get this one for free. And then, of course, you can add a handset or headset to, wireless handset or headset to any of these. So it works out very well. So at Brookside, we actually work with 200 plus providers and carriers. So we help, get your carrier situation under control with your lines and things of that nature. Take a look at your costs. That's what we do in a lot of these companies, schools that had, in remote areas that, took a look at what they were spending on what they had. Companies like Frontier and then and Spectrum, and then wound up finding out a much more cost-effective way to help them out, as well as fiber. So we can actually do pricing for fiber and circuits and order them from any of the carriers, and we get a really good price on them because we're buying in a wholesale type of channel partner environment. So the benefits of moving to fiber, which is getting cheaper every day, is it's not, fiber is dedicated where coax is not. It's enterprise versus residential grade. And there's service level agreements on fiber, and there's zero latency because you're going to need fiber for video and voice because it doesn't really like latency, and that's what comes with it. So you can upgrade your service at any time when you're dedicated like this with a phone call if you needed more fiber or more bandwidth for any particular event. So as I said, we work with all the major carriers, provide fiber, coax, SIP, PRS, SD-WAN. If you know what those are all just different types of circuits that we can order from all the major carriers. And then we also work a lot with aggregators who actually have access to better pricing because they do their own pricing. And their customer service is normally, or in most cases, is going to be US based. Just the wholesale is just a lot different than the regular retail. So when we start taking a look at it, we see, oh my gosh, okay, there's a big stretch here on what we're looking at as far as looking at 50 meg from, what price, just based on address. So we try to help you find the right service to meet your needs and project manage the whole implementation. When it comes to SD-WAN or inexpensive solutions for small locations or even home users, this is a really neat box from Netsurian that has a built-in firewall, VPN, does Wi-Fi, and does 4G failover. So in remote areas where internet's not very good, or you have, satellite or whatever, this is a really good way to use the mobile network. It comes with PCI compliant, very secure Wi-Fi, and it's very good for making sure that everybody has access to the web. So what we really want you to do is buy local. If you're in Austin, support Austin. I mean, we really could use the business here. I mean, there's the old UT Tower, there's downtown. I mean, it's a beautiful place. There's the old Capitol building there. I mean, and of course the lakes. Who doesn't? Yeah, so Mitel and Brookside, they're both local companies. We'd love to see if we could help your school district find the best path to the cloud.